Let's get our last guest of day one here. Jured, give us a little tune. Are we ready for this? So this gentleman, Henrik Landgren from Sweden, is been actually every element of the ecosystem, right? You started as a developer, worked your way through consulting, then worked in Spotify in analytics, specifically before evolving into the investment world. EQT, an awesome fund in Sweden. Go check them out. They do great things. Where you built and drove over 100 investments, data-driven VC investments. I don't know what that means. We'll find out in a second. Give it up for the one and only Henrik Landgren! How are you, my friend?
Fantastic. Henrik, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Which one?
Maybe,
Yeah.
I spell better than him. So.
Okay, good.
Henrik.
Yes,
Velkommen.
hello.
Velkommen. Hey, Dor. You're so welcome, my friend. What do you think of this? How cool is this? First time in Tallinn?
I love it. It's such
Yeah.
a good vibe, and it's super warm too.
It is, I know. The reality is every city's great when it's warm, but I think this place definitely, it creates an awesome environment when you're running around the old town and the ocean is just over there. Maybe there'll be a video of me swimming a little bit later. But, Henrik, you're the co-founder of a business, which we'll come to in a minute, but you've done it every element of the ecosystem, right? You've both been, now a founder, you've been a VC, you've been an employee, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I've got to ask the obvious question. What's better, being a founder or a VC?
That's a good one. No, it's actually quite funny when you think about it like that. Looking back, you've done all parts of the table. So for me, I've always been thinking like, I want to be really good at what I do before I do it, since I was a kid. And that's kind of what I think I've done also when looking back. As working as a developer first, realizing that this is great, but I also want to know how to build businesses. Like, how does businesses work? How do you make big decisions? So then I went to consultancy. And then that's like, okay, cool. 3 years into management consultancy. I understand that now. Now I want to get back to tech and use that. Then I went to join Spotify.
Or was this all random? Have you had a grand plan? It sounds like you have had a grand plan.
I know, that's what it's looking back, it sounds like a red thread, and but I haven't thought about it like that. I always try to think about, like, do I think this is still fun? And when I felt like, no, now I've had enough, I should do something else. That's kind of when I switched.
Yeah, because now you're obviously in that role as an entrepreneur with Gillian.
Yeah.
Gillian, give us a little intro about Gillian. What is Gillian and what does the name mean?
Gillian is actually an old British word. So if there are any British people in here, you can confirm that this is an old British word.
Well, they'd have to be old British.
Really old people.
Really old British.
Because the interesting is it means a billion.
A billion.
So,
why did they change it to billion?
Well, I don't know, but the Americans seem to have come first to take over, like to claim the billion word for billion. But there was actually another word before that, which is Gillian. So Gillian means a billion, a lot of stuff, and that's basically everything that we do at this company at its core. So we built, or I founded together with my co-founders, a platform that we want to be able to help founders to grow faster. So by connecting to founders all the different tools that they use to build their business, we get access to all these billions of data points that they already have, and then we use that to run all the numbers, give all the analysis, all the insights, all the forecasts about how their business is doing to help them to grow faster. But we also use that to introduce new type of funding. So after having been a VC, I saw, investing with VC money was great, but VC money is so narrow, so you can't really invest in every founder out there, even though people are building great businesses. So then I thought, well, if someone built a company that has that platform, that leveraged all that data, it can help the founders to grow faster, but it can also help to create a new type of lending category to actually finance these businesses using that data. And that sounds complicated, but if you step back, it's just the next evolution of a bank, right? You just do a risk assessment using the numbers that you have about their company, but we take the technology that I was part of building at Spotify into that mix and do banking in a new way.
Is this inspired from sort of giving the creators of music, the ability to earn through a platform and sort of that's an interesting model, actually, because we're seeing a lot of this now with sort of microfinance and different nations.
Yeah.
The traditional world of banking and law and the systems that are in place. Again, this panel today, this conversation, this show has been around that with Tim, what he's doing with crypto and him mentioning how the ecosystem here has been a lot more, open to and forward leaning towards banking innovation or decentralizing things, right?
Exactly.
So, okay, that's an interesting narrative, right? And again, coming back to why did you create this business, and what came first? Was it let's take all this data that we're getting about these businesses, provide them a better insights on that, right? That was helping them grow.
Yep.
And then hold on a minute, now we've got some insights which effectively like for want of a better description, a credit score, right? Almost, right?
Yeah.
This business is really credible. It's, and there's these qualitative metrics. So what came first there?
Well, I came from the data angle first because I saw what we could do and how transformative it was when I was at Spotify. When it was 2010. We were very early in leveraging the new technology that was new then that allowed us to use every single click of every single user. Like, damn it, how can we now build products when we actually know what every customer do? It wasn't possible before that. So it changed how we could build products, how we did marketing. It changed everything. So then I could see the power of using that data. And then I used that to then build this data-driven VC. That's your question in the intro.
Data-driven VC on that topic.
But trying to use the same approach, meaning trying to find as much data as there is about companies out there. And then you try to leverage that to make better investment decisions. Try to
quantifying and qualifying whether this is a good team. And
exactly.
Based on those KPIs.
But also using the latest technology that allowed you just to use a lot of data. Yeah. So you're not just limited to some small spreadsheets, but instead have a lot of data. So that's what I did. And then I tried to help all the founders that we invested in to coach them in how to use this data-driven mindset to grow faster. And then I figured out, wait, there is something here that if founders, they have a hard time doing this themselves. They don't know how to start. They would love to have it, but there is no platform out there to help them to do this. And the other thing was this financing aspect, that we had to say no as a VC to many, many great businesses. Founders are creating incredible things because the market was too small, or like they don't want to grow like crazy because it didn't fit our VC mandate. The VC mandate is basically like you have 30 slots in a fund. Every investment you do have to have the chance to become the next Facebook. If you feel like, this might not be it, this might be a smaller niche market, you have to say no, even if it's a great business. So for me, it was like, shit, we're hindering innovation from happening here. And we have all the entrepreneurs there waiting. We want them to grow faster. And then I was connecting the dots like, wait, if we give them the data platform, we can help them to grow faster. And we can also use that to create a new funding element, because the other type of funding assets like banks have, they don't have this. And you need to build that from scratch to be able to get the funding partners in there to support this type of lending.
It's an interesting one because you have this dichotomy or this asymmetry of information, right? In the sense that, we all know the age-old game, everyone up the top there, from the investor, the founder, right? The founder is pitching this brilliant business. People like Chris help them with that. I do a bit of that too. And there's no guarantee that you are the best, person at presenting your business, but you might be the only one, right? You have this
After
information.
You met the pitch coach.
Yeah, he's a pitch coach. He's a pitch doctor, right? And on the other side of that, investors are looking for those KPIs, those metrics. They're looking to quantify and qualify and validate those things. So you have this mismatch. Therefore, VCs will often miss great investments, and great people might not raise money and do that thing. Platforms like Funding Partner in Norway, right? You do a great job of that. You connect both businesses raising money, both equity, crowdfunded, and debt as well. I think you do that now as well, right? Go check them out, fundingpartner.no. Yeah, and they help this asymmetry of information. Yeah. But there's one element that's missing for me with all of this, which is the qualitative one. Because haven't we all been told again and again that this game is about people, people, people?
Totally.
And then we kind of quantify and statisticify, the whole thing. So how does that kind of...
But exactly, and that's true. So shouldn't we spend the time on assessing exactly that?
Yeah, so let the system like yours and other, Funding Partner, do the fundamental analysis. Yeah. And then allow that, but is Chris a good or a bad? Who would invest in Chris? Raise your hands.
Depends on...
Chris, you need to work harder. Venus, very low hand, man. Hey, we'll talk to you tomorrow, Venus.
No, but it's really cumbersome, the process of fundraising, because, as it works today, because first of all, you don't know the right investors. You have to be at the right event to meet and mingle with the right people. But then when it comes to numbers, every investor asks for different things, and they want to slice it in different ways, and then there are all this mistrust against the founders that they don't show you the right data, and they might fudge things for you. So a much better way, of course, is that you're already on a platform where you can control, where you're optimizing your growth. It's already there, and then you invite investors to this platform, or you apply for a loan, and then everything is already there in terms of numbers. So you can talk about what you want to build, the vision, and align on that together.
I love that. You know, I don't want to stop this interview, and I'm not going to, but I am going to pause for a moment because I want to break the narrative up here. I want to get us all moving and shaking a tiny bit. So we're going to play a game.
Okay, moving and shaking. And
so, again, you know, we spoke to all our guests, Chris and I, beforehand, right? Oh. We didn't ask them all their policy on nudity. And Henrik said
he was the only one.
And he's like, guys, I don't, you know, that's how I walk around home. So we're not going to.
That's not exactly what it was.
That's not exactly. I'm maybe paraphrasing here. We're not going to get you naked, unfortunately. But that's for the other show later on tonight. That's the midnight show. But we are going to play a game with you, Henrik. Along this narrative of pitching, presenting, performing. As I like to say, a pitch is a performance, right? So, Henrik, you know, you don't actually know what we're going to do. You just gave us your faith.
Oh, no.
So the game is this. We're going to, you know, Chris, maybe you can explain the game.
Yeah, so we have a little box in here.
Right.
In there is a product.
It's called Pandora.
It is your new product.
Okay.
So what we want you to do, we'll put the box here. You can get up. You can go to the front, you can start your pitch, and you start your pitch by already talking about how this is the most amazing thing and how you pivoted from Gillian to this.
All right.
Because you now believe even more in this
shit.
than Gillian. And then you open it, and then you reveal what it is. You show it to the audience, you explain to them what they can do with it.
Okay, so I pitch it before I know what it is.
You can half pitch it,
okay.
like build us, excite us on what it is.
Just build up the excitement a little bit. We give you a lot of applause because I think this is really scary. So when we talk to founders about pitching, we always say this is really scary going up on stage. Now this is 10 times worse because he doesn't even know what the frick he's pitching. So let's give a huge round of applause.
It's not far from the truth.
Yeah.
All right. You want to go there?
Yeah, you gotta go to the front. All right. Okay, let's announce it properly.
Should I?
We'll announce you.
We're going to do this properly, and so you're going to make up a quick name on the spot, Henrik. So make up any name. That's the name of the startup.
Right.
And you don't know what it's going to be, so that's the whole kind of the fun.
Right.
So what's your startup going to be called?
So I'm going to now pitch you the new startup that we pivoted into, and it's called Quickify.
Quickify. All right, that's a good one.
Awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the man. He's come all the way from Sweden. He is a hero, and he's here to pitch you Quickify.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming and listening to this pitch. I've spent all these years doing blah, blah, blah things. And now I realized just recently that I completely saw another opportunity. I had to completely give up my old life and start this company, which is now called Quickify. And you might all wonder what it is. I will tell you in a second. But what I can tell you, it's going to completely change your life.
So yeah, maybe have a little reach in the box and pick an item.
Can I open it?
You can open it. Pick an item.
Are you ready?
One item, just one thing.
This is your product.
This is your product.
Tell us about what problem
about
it solves,
Quickify.
maybe.
Yeah, wait. Oh, it's live. Look at this. This is Quickify, Ladies and gentlemen, this is Quickify.
Is it Quickify or a Quickify?
No, this is Quickify. This is the Quickify.
The Quickify, okay.
It's only one.
Okay. Tell us
it's only the one. So,
Sorry, Henrik. So what does it do? What can you use it for?
Well, this is actually connected to everyone's minds.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's why it's a bit swashy because everyone is thinking different things in here.
Okay.
So it goes a bit like this, and it will actually connect everyone here to make everyone feel better.
Okay, right.
And it will do that much quicker than just mingling around. So after you've seen this now,
you
will all be closer friends than you would have been without it.
Do it again? Oh,
see?
Oh,
you see?
Yeah, it's that's feeling good in different places though, Henrik.
Oh, well, that's too much. It's more like this.
Yeah, that might fit a bit better.
All right.
So, are you raising any money? How can we help you today with Quickify?
No, I never raise money, of course, but I'm busy to fix this.
Okay, cool.
But if you have, 100 grand, I will offer it.
And that's what they cost. I think we'll let him off there. Henrik from Quickify.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Should we let the audience? No, you're not done. Should we? How good did we think by a cheer? He did. How good a job did he do with a cheer? Because there was silence. Yeah, there we go.
What is this?
to say, I'm very impressed.
That was
very
pretty
impressed
good.
with the pitch.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
How did it feel to not know what you were pitching? Because you said, so I don't know if you heard this, but when we started, he whispered to me, like, it's not that different from pitching your own startup. Like,
Exactly.
you sometimes also don't know what you're talking about.
I sometimes, and this is from my VC experience, I feel that the founders pitching their business is pitching something that is not really what it is, really, that they have.
Because they haven't fully understood themselves what they're talking about.
Yeah, or they might pitch something that might completely be something different in the future. And when you start to look under the hood, it's not at all there.
Still shape-shifting.
So it's like that a bit.
Yeah, okay.
It's very, very authentic pitch session.
So what did you expect to be in there? Did you have any, like...
Maybe something more, I don't know, some gadget or something.
Okay, something real, like a thing with a clear purpose. But that would have been boring.
Yeah,
I think
This
you
is
did
much
an
more
excellent
better.
job, because I think what he showed is he's really smart, he's really quick on his feet. What can I do? Because that thing, I bought it, and I have no idea what
What did
purpose.
they pay
Chris,
for
be
it?
honest. Be honest. We did wash it, but I mean that's usually what Chris inserts in his car when he's What is it? I don't even know what it is.
I have no idea what it is. So it's a thing that has no purpose. But you came up with a solution to how do you pitch that by making it about something that's not tangible. And I think that was a really smart moment, because I thought he would struggle and he'd be like, yeah, whatever, you can scrub your ears with it, whatever.
Right.
But no, you just went there and said, hey, it's controlling the minds and it's connecting the minds. And I'm like, yeah, that absolutely makes sense. So I think I would have bought the pitch immediately, but then I'm not an investor, so
How much money do you have?
we can talk.
Okay,
got some
we can
interest.
talk
That's
about Quickify.
But that's an element there, right? Coming back to that asymmetry of information between, the two parties, right?
Yeah.
So Gillian's obviously trying to sort of allow you now and open you up to make good judgments on pitches like this, on the people.
Yeah.
And
But knowing the performance,
knowing
of
the
company.
data and things like that. And do you see things shifting on what people see as good data for a business, instead of just profitability within X amount of time and an ability to sort of have more revenue than costs at some point?
Yeah.
It's marginal increasing thing. Where are things?
I mean,
shifting?
I was very much, when I came from having built the analytics team at Spotify, we were like very far ahead into like what you look at in a tech company, how you can use all of that data to understand your customers better, to forecast what this will go, and to see trends of your retention rates and things like that. So I brought that with me as into the VC industry to use all of those kind of metrics to better understand their businesses. And I have to say that still today, I think VCs are asking for a lot of those questions, but the founders are not really having them yet there. So I think that's what I try to help with, because if those metrics are there, they help the founders and also help them to pitch to investors. So it kind of makes them to be compatible and speak the same language as the VCs want.
Where's Gillian going, right? So right now you have, you're capturing all this data, you're providing initially insights for the founders to grow faster.
Yep.
And when you say grow faster, what do you mean by grow faster? Actually, you just mean sort of more customers, lower costs. What sort of, how do you find that?
So I mean, there are two things, both from the tool, because if you can understand how you're growing, how your performance is working, how it's trending up or down, you can better know if I'm improving my product, do I actually improve my retention of my customers? Because if I do, then my growth will go faster, right?
Yeah.
And most of the times, unfortunately, the things that you try, they don't work. So it's or probably even more important to see it. Oh shit, it doesn't work. Let's stop that. Let's go on the next thing.
Yeah.
So that part of just using your data to iterate faster and knowing and learn that learning cycle to help you to grow faster is one part. And the other is obviously the capital. So to provide capital to many more founders will help them to grow faster with more investments.
So lastly on that point there, because I think that's super interesting around how to provide new insights to measure whether a business is good or not. Do you have a rating, like this business is an 87 of 100? Do you have that kind of thing?
Yeah, and we show it to the founders too.
And it's literally like a score out of 100 or something.
So we create scores and benchmarks as well as forecasts, which shows you the overall score and then the other sub-elements of that builds up to that score.
Yeah.
So it really helps you to understand compared to for the different parts in your growth engine, your marketing efficiency, your retention efficiency, monetization, all of that, and shows you compared to others other in your peer groups. How good are they? So you know where you should focus your efforts.
Quickify would be a clear 100.
Quickify would be 100 for sure.
At least on the product side. We were not sure about the founding team, but
They have some issues with the founding team, yeah. The CEO is a bit...
I'm not sure. I'm not sold.
Henrik, I'm going to let you off on the hook in just a moment, but I wanted to allow, as I do with all our guests, Chris, on this show, is sort of, use this as a platform. These are great people in this room. There are investors, there are founders, there are people who want to be both, who have been both, who, like yourself, have maybe been through the wheel, the wheel of entrepreneurship, right? From founder to exit, even in some cases as well. But, do you have a message or a philosophy you live by that you'd love to share with our lovely people here, both at the top there? Give us a cheer at the top there. 1, 2, 3.
They didn't get that.
Give us a cheer at the top there. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God.
There we go.
The show is almost over. Don't worry. We'll get there. We'll get there. There's Pitch Confidential coming up in 5 minutes. Henrik.
No, I think the message that I can see where we're going with this is how investing in the future will be like, which is great. It's going to be great. But I think already now to bring that message out to everyone here who is founding or building a company, but all your friends too, that there is a new way to grow companies. And that's what I want everyone to know, that there are tools out there, a new type of capital, so you don't have to dilute yourself and can control your growth and grow.
Can I just go on Gillian and be pretty bad at all those things and you'll help me?
Yeah.
So basically, we're encouraging bad founders to get capital. Hey, Gillian here from...
No, but you can go in there, you can get your scores to be low, and then you can fix it, and then you get capital.
Provide the insights, find the data. I'm going to go check it out. Henrik, Gillian, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just leave it here. Oh yeah, leave it there. It's all good. Hey.